No matter what you're going through, he'll give you the grace to go through it. But more importantly, after you come through, he's going to bring you out into a better place. So it's time to lift up your head. And when you get down, just do the same thing over and over again. Remind yourself of who God is. Here's what the Bible says, and you just read it, that the Lord saw to it that he found strength. Now, you don't find strength unless you're looking for strength. David, before he looked for guidance, he looked for strength. And the Bible says he found strength in the Lord his God. That's the only place where the strength resided. And so he had to go somewhere and get in God's presence. He had to get away from these folk who talking about stoning him. God's going to see to it that they can't kill him because he's God's plan and God's mind. And God's plan is on his life. And I just want to remind you, your life is full of divine purpose. And the enemy can't take you out because God hasn't finished doing what he's going to do in your life. Let your enemies rant and rave all they want. Know that God is still at work in your life and he hasn't yet brought it to completion. So you're going to make it. All you got to do is learn to do what David did and strengthen yourself in the Lord. How did he do that? I'm sure David just reminded himself of who God was. In order to be strong, you got to stand in your strength and remember who God is. Sometimes you got to remind yourself of what you already know. David has known him for a long time. As a lad, he found him to be one who took him out of the sheep pen and made him anointed to be the next king. Now, he's not going to walk in it until Saul is gone. But even before he walks in it, he knew God had placed his hand on him. And God had given him strength to defeat a giant. And God had helped him kill a lion and bear that had come against the sheep that he took care of. He knew some things from an early age about who God was. Now that he's an adult and has lived much more under the hand of God, he has learned some other things. And I just want to remind you, you got to remind yourself of the God you serve. Before you get guidance, sometimes you just got to get encouragement. That's where I am in my life. That's where some of you all are in your life. When you're dealing with difficult things, just sit and remind yourself, talk to yourself about your God. Before you talk to your God about what you're going through, talk to yourself about God. Don't listen to these people who say, don't talk to yourself. That's a sign of a mental problem. I beg to differ. Sometimes ain't nobody around who got anything I need to hear, so the only person I can talk to is the Lord. And sometimes, yes, I talk to him out loud and nobody's around. He talking to himself. Say what you want to, but I need to talk to him. And sometimes I need to talk to myself about him and remind myself that when I'm hungry, he's the bread of life. And when I'm thirsty, he's the wellspring of living water. When I need guidance, he's my shepherd. When I'm tired, he's my rock in a weary land. When I'm in a terrible storm, he's my refuge and strength. When I'm in trouble, he's a present help. When I'm in darkness, he's a light that illumines my way. When I'm bound, he's my deliverer. When I'm shaky, he's my firm foundation and my strong tower. When I've been shut out, he's the door by which I can enter in. When there seems to be no hope, he's the one that makes a way where there is no way. When I'm sick, he's been my healer. When I'm in need, he's been my provider. When I'm lonely, he's my company keeper. When I'm weak, he's my strength. When I'm feeling low, he lifts up my head. And it gets me to a place where eventually I hear David say, lift up your heads, O ye gates, be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors. Let the King of glory come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. He is the King of glory. And you got to talk to yourself about God until you've encouraged yourself. Remind yourself, I'm not going under, I'm going over, because greater is he that is with me and in me than he that is in the world. Yes, I'm going through trials. Yes, I'm dealing with bereavement. Yes, I'm dealing with pain. Yes, I'm dealing with hardship, but I'm coming through this and I'm going to come out. And even though right now I might be in a valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil because the Lord is with me. His rod and staff have comforted me, and they're preparing a table before me in the presence of my enemies. And sooner or later, I'm coming out of here, and I'm going to sit at that table, and I'm going to enjoy the blessing of the Lord. I want somebody to encourage yourself in God, because he is going to bring you through. Then you'll be able to sing those songs that the old saints used to sing, and then you'll have some weight when you sing them. They used to sing, "Can't nobody do me like Jesus." Because he will bring you out of there. No matter what you're going through, he'll give you the grace to go through it. But more importantly, after you come through, he's going to bring you out into a better place. So it's time to lift up your head. And when you get down, just do the same thing over and over again. Remind yourself of who God is. Remind yourself that he who began a good work in you is not finished with you. So the devil is trying to pronounce your doom and gloom, but he's a liar. He's always been a liar. The Bible says from the beginning he was a liar. And so you've got to understand, I am going to stand strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. And when the enemy comes, I don't have to worry about it. I know we're wrestling against not flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. I know all of that, but I do know that my God is greater than anything I face. Great may be my trouble, but greater is my God. Great may be my trials, but greater is my God. Great might be my hardship, but greater is my God. Great might be everything difficult coming against me, but my God is greater, and he's going to bring me through it, and he's going to bring me out of it. And when I come out, I'm going to come out shouting the victory and giving him all the praise. In fact, sometimes you need to not wait until the battle is over. Just go ahead and shout now in advance. I know I'm still in the battle, but I'm going to shout right now. I'm going to praise right now. When the devil thinks I got him right where I want him, and he looks at you to see you going down, by then you've cried all your tears. By then you've gotten rid of all your enemies. By then you've given your friends permission to not be there for you. And now you can just rejoice in the God of your salvation. Before your change comes, you can give God glory and give him praise. And sooner or later, you're going to see him come through, and you're going to experience the victory. Give the Lord some praise, if you will.